TinyEYE is the world's leading provider of online speech therapy services. We started in 2005 and we serve schools all over the world, primarily school-aged children with communication disorders. We deliver all of our speech therapy services through the internet using webcams and headsets and a very sophisticated software program that enables all of the communication, recording of data, and security behind the system.
The way that our system works is that I log on to the TinyEYE website, and then the students log on to the TinyEYE website through their educational assistant who's at their school site, and we share a game or activity to work on their speech and language targets.
Jennifer has some issues with learning, so when we first came to Canada, we came to Brunswick School, and they said, look, there's this program, educational program out there that would help Jennifer with some of her speech language issues. And I said, yeah, we'll give it a try. And so she started doing it about a year ago, and we just had noticed an enormous difference.
Jennifer had substituted the TH sound for S's and Z's, and so she was saying a throatless sound, TH sound for those words. And so now she's working really hard, and you hear the S sound and the Z sound in her, and she's confident, and she's getting more and more used to saying those sounds, and it's becoming a regular part of her vocabulary.
I was learning some games, like math games and fun games. Like all kinds of words that might start with S, Z, any kind of words that should start with.
Children need to be able to effectively communicate in their classroom settings. That's where their world is at this age. And so one thing I love about TinyEYE is it allows us to go into schools and help kids who don't have a speech therapist on site. And it's fantastic to see kids come back and say, oh, Mrs. Key, I used the L sound in my classroom the other day and the teacher said I did a good job. Because of the activities and games that we use, they're taking ownership of their speech and language skills. I also feel like the children are able to share the experiences with not only their teachers using our online backpacks, but also with their families. So I can videotape a therapy session and have families watch it, a teacher can watch it. That way we have a great continuum of therapy from our sessions with TinyEYE to classroom to home.
What we have found with online therapy is it can be the great equalizer in education. A lot of times in rural and remote communities, students don't have the opportunity to participate in the same types of programs and special services as they do in larger urban centers. And at the end of the day, if you cannot communicate, if you cannot understand your teacher, if you can't communicate with your peer groups, your hockey coach, or whoever it is you're working with and talking to, you're going to struggle with that subject or that underlying content. And that is a major drawback for living in a smaller area that doesn't have access to services. With our program, we've been able to touch so many remote communities and families that had no other way of participating in these things, and that for us has been truly remarkable. It's a great feeling to know that when you get up in the morning and if you do a great job, thousands of little kids are going to have a better opportunity at having a great life.
Jennifer's always been quite graphic, so she likes picture books and she likes storytelling and she loves being read to, but she's never really felt the desire to read because of her ability not to be able to sound some words. So obviously every child who has a bit of a learning issue is more reluctant to get out and do some reading. But since she's been on the program, we find that she even reads the billboards. They'll come up and she'll actually give it a go. She'll try sounding the words, and if she gets it wrong, she's not really shy about it. She says she'll look at me and say, is that right? So you can see that because of the program, she's thinking about how she's saying them, and she's really wanting to give it a go. She'll even bring books home that we would think she wouldn't normally have brought home, and she'll be up in her room reading. So I think it's made her believe that by giving it a go, you can do the reading.
So when we started TinyEYE, there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, no one had ever done a Skype call. None of those things existed in the world. And going out to these school divisions and talking to speech therapists and directors and so on, it was like we were telling them about Star Trek. It was so far out of their daily lives and daily routines. It was a completely different world. And we really struggled at the onset talking to people about this and getting them to think that maybe this is a good idea, maybe this can be an effective method of treatment. And today, just about everybody we have talked to now has done an online call or a video Skype call or something like that. They have communities and relationships on the internet. Half their life is online, and it's no longer a leap of faith. It's like, oh yeah, this is just something else that we can do and make more efficient ways in our lives and things like that. So it's dramatically changed, and that's probably one of the biggest things that has impacted our organization in the last 2 years, is just the mindset of the end users, the people that are making decisions, because now they have real life experience that they can associate with our method of delivering speech therapy.
I quite like the idea that there's somebody who is a speech specialist who can help Jennifer, and the fact that she's actually from another country or from America or you know, someplace that's not even close to here, and still be able to help children in rural Saskatchewan is unique. So it's not just a couple of hours drive, it's a plane ride, but she's able to sit in her office and talk to Jennifer just like she was talking to Jennifer here, right here in rural Saskatchewan. So that's a great opportunity to have such technology, really.